Glendale Housing Authority. May we have a roll call, please? Or do we need a roll call?
Authority members: Draymond.
Here.
Friedman.
Here.
Vinci.
Yes.
Najarian.
Here.
Brazian.
Here.
Here.
Chair Quintero.
Here. May we have your report?
The agenda for the January 4th, 2011 regular meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority was posted on Thursday, December 30th, 2010 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
What's next?
Next is approval of minutes.
So moved.
Second.
The minutes stand approved as submitted. Next, please.
Next is oral communication. I believe there was one card submitted.
There is one card from Mike Mohill.
The discussion is limited time, is not part of this agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. Members of the Housing Authority may question or respond to a speaker, but there will be no debate or decision. The matter may be referred to staff through the Executive Director for investigation and report.
Mike Mohill, long-term resident, council members again. Well, you know, housing and the problem with ADI. You've all seen this comic thing called Glendale Budget put out by Stacy Miller, Public Relations Company. Mr. Dream, you act like you don't know this budget.
I can't see that far, Mr. Moore,
Well,
without my glasses.
if you would argue, we can pass that over to the council members. I'm sure it's been passed out throughout the whole city. For the budget, rather than the city itself put out a budget, they hired, Mr. Starbird hired an outside company called Stacy Miller, public relations firm, to hide our dirty underwear. What else? After all, why couldn't staff do this report? No, we need to hire an outside company to hire. Because, you know, when Johnny comes home with a bad report card, he should hire Stacy Miller also. So he'll look good in front of his mom and dad. I'm surprised you don't know this because Mr. Starbird authorized $2,000 for this company. Shock. Aren't we all shocked in this? That the city had to hire an outside company for our budget, be it housing, redevelopment, whatever it is. Now we need to hire, I think, Stacy Miller for the current scandal on ADI. Mr. Draymond, I think you ought to hire Stacy Miller if you haven't already hired her. Because, after all, your long-term friend, Mr. K, has told me you ought to hire her because she knows the ins and outs of government. Thank you.
Okay, I don't have any other cards. That closes oral communications. What's next, please?
Business agenda. At 6A is Director of Community Redevelopment and Housing regarding professional services agreement change orders and budget appropriation for Kane, Balmer, and Berkman, and budget appropriation for Burke, Williams, and Sorensen for affordable housing services. At 6A1 is a motion approving a change order with Kane, Balmer, and Berkman for legal services in the amount of $90,000 for a new not-to-exceed contract amount of $180,000. At 6A2 is a resolution appropriating $140,000 to provide additional funding for professional services agreement with Kane, Balmer, and Berkman, $90,000, and funding for Burke, Williams, and Sorensen, $50,000, for legal analysis work and advice related to affordable housing.
Mr. Starbird.
Yes, I'll go to Phil Lansafame, Director for the staff report. Phil?
Mr. Chairman, members of the agency, this is something of a companion piece to what you just approved on the subpoenas. Kane Balmer Berkman is a legal advisor to the Housing Authority in Housing Authority issues and projects. In October, the Housing Authority authorized the retention of Burke, Williams, and Sorensen to help with the review and investigation that Mr. Garcia had outlined in his report. These are motions to change orders to contracts that we have with Kane Balmer and to appropriate the funds for Burke, Williams, Sorensen. Questions? Staff is here to answer.
Questions or comments? Ms. Friedman.
Is this the same firm that's been giving consulting, doing consulting on the affordable housing projects over the last several years, many years?
Yes.
So is this the same consulting firm that analyzed the ADI projects up front and recommended their approval or gave their, their recommendation on them?
Kane Balmer would review legal matters and documentation. another firm would do any other kind of economic work.
Okay, so they didn't do the financial analysis, they just did legal?
No.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Mr. Draymond.
This was the same firm that back in 2006 had a change order or a change of contract, increase of money, correct, related to, I believe, 3 affordable housing projects. And from what I remember reading, the reason for the increased cost at that time was because we had so many affordable housing projects moving forward. There was, according to the staff report at the time in 2006, it was what was later called Glendale City Lights, Metropolitan, Metroloma, and I think one other. So this is the same company, at least, that we've been working with for legal matters related to affordable housing, at least going back to 2006, correct?
I believe so, yes. We've used them for several years.
If I can, Mr. Chair, Mr. Mayor, Kane Balmer Berkman has been special counsel on affordable housing projects for, frankly, longer than I've been here. They're a very prominent firm in California in both redevelopment as well as affordable housing projects. And although I think we've had different attorneys from their firm at different times, generally they have been the special counsel with support from the City Attorney's Office on affordable housing projects for a long time.
Okay, I have one card. Mike Mohill.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council members. Mike Mohill, long-term resident, class of 1960, Glendale High School. That's 50 years in the city of Glendale. Excuse me, as the taxpayers, I want to know why we're putting out another $180,000. Is the district attorney right now investigating this situation? If so, why as the taxpayer do I need to put out another $180,000? Just asking the question. You know, 1,000 here, 1,000 there. The taxpayers want to know. We're going without, and you're going with campaign contributions, thousands of dollars, according to the Glendale News Press. Shock, shock, shock. What else will we find out in the Glendale News Press as they continue their
Why
investigation
don't you
of
stick
ADI?
to this is item
Yes, I
6,
am.
not oral
Thank you, Mr. Quintero. Again, why are we spending, Mr. Quintero, $180,000? Isn't the district attorney already investigating this for us? Thank you very much.
Okay, the speaker is asking why the 180. What is this appropriations for?
Well, let me respond. Let me clarify. This is the approval of extension of the contract with Kane, Balmer, and Berkman is for $90,000, not $180,000. It happens to be. We always report to you the total contract to date for these services. This is initial $90,000. The approval for Burke, Williams, and Sorensen is a $50,000 appropriation. So the combined total for the two firms is $140,000. Kane, Balmer, and Berkman to continue working on our housing projects, including ensuring that the ADI projects remain online and come online to meet the promises that have been made to the residents who are going to be inhabiting those units, to work on our numerous other affordable housing projects that are currently underway, and the work of Burke, Williams, and Sorensen has been described by the city attorney.
Okay, any comments or questions?
Would you like a motion?
I'd like a motion.
Mr. Quintero, I got it right this time. I move 6A, 1 and 2.
Second.
Roll call.
Authority members Draymond,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Mincy,
Yes.
Najarian,
Yes.
Brazian,
Yes.
Weaver,
Aye.
Chair Quintero.
Yes. Next, please.
There are no other items. Are there any authority member or staff comments?
I hear none.
Move we adjourn. Second.
We are adjourned.